Hi, welcome to Party Food Hero. I'm Aaron. Today we're going to be making potatoes au gratin, or as I call them, potatoes au gratin. So this is a delicious recipe. It goes perfect as a side dish if you're making anything. So this is actually, you could make this as a main dish. It is very filling, very delicious, but like I said, pairs well with, if you're gonna make steaks or a pot roast or whatever you're gonna make, it goes well with it. So it is amazing. It's really good, but not that hard to make. Let's go check it out. All right, here are the ingredients you'll need for an amazing potatoes au gratin. Except pretend that sharp cheddar cheese is actually a Parmigiano Reggiano. All right, you're gonna take your onion, you're gonna cut the top off, cut off the bottom, then you're gonna cut it in half, and then you're gonna slice these thinly, about 1/8 of an inch thickness, into little strips, like this. Like that. I'm no cutting expert, but just like that. So you just cut those up and then set those aside, and you are going to get your garlic and either mince it or put it through a garlic press like I prefer to do, because I don't like to mince garlic. So you can use a nice garlic press, saves you a lot of time and frustration. There you go. All right, you're gonna throw in your butter, melt that down. And then after you melt the butter, you're gonna add in your onions. Then you're gonna add in your garlic. And then you are gonna add in some more onions that I had put in a different spot for some weird reason, but nevertheless, we put them in there nice and slowly. Then you mix that all together, and then you're gonna add in a pinch of salt, kosher salt, just like that. There you go. Then you're gonna put in your cayenne pepper. This is optional, but I would still do it. It doesn't make it super spicy, so don't worry about that. You're gonna add in your ground pepper. Not too much, just to season it up. And then you're gonna mix this all together on low, medium-low heat until the onions have softened. Unfortunately, my camera decided to not record the part of them being completely softened, but you know what soft onions look like. And that's what you're looking for, soft onions. So you're gonna do it. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes on low. You don't wanna do this on hot. You want them to sweat and you want them to soften. You don't want to brown any of this. So lower heat, longer time makes a delicious dish. And also, my camera did not record me pouring in the cream. So I put in the cream, the thyme, and then the rind from the gruyere cheese. And you're just gonna simmer this real low, real slow. All you're doing is infusing those flavors into the cream sauce, and you're gonna have this amazing cream sauce for your potatoes au gratin, and it's incredible. You don't want this on high at all. You don't want to be boiling it. A very soft simmer for about 10 minutes. You're just incorporating those flavors, and it yields the most delicious sauce for these potatoes. But yeah, so that's all. See, it's barely bubbling. Maybe even less than that. I think I turned it down. No, that's good. Yeah, just a slight little bubble, and then just keep mixing it. And then once it's done, after it's been 10 minutes, you just remove the thyme and you remove the onions from the thyme. And then you're gonna take out the rind from the cheese, or the rind from the sauce. Yes, get it all. Don't lose any of those precious, delicious onions. And then you're gonna fish out the rind from the sauce as well. And then you're gonna set this aside, let it cool down while we slice up our potatoes. Now, using a mandolin or a very sharp knife, slice these up to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Just be careful with the mandolin. I didn't have my guard, but I also, about 2 inches left on that potato, I said that's good enough, and just go slow towards the end. Don't keep going fast. You don't want to slice your fingers off. No bueno. That's no bueno. A lot of people don't know that potatoes au gratin is actually French for potato lasagna. So we're gonna layer it like a lasagna. I might have just made that up. So first you're gonna put down some cream sauce. You're gonna layer a little thin base down there to lay your potatoes on top of. And then we're gonna lay out those potatoes slightly overlapping. Then we're gonna put a little bit of fresh pepper. Then we're gonna add some bacon. I had giant chunks in this part. I ended up crushing it up later. Then you put on your Parmigiano Reggiano. Make sure you get that all on there. Then you're gonna put on your gruyere cheese. Don't get stingy with it. Makes a giant difference. Now you're gonna put on a little bit more of your sauce. So you put your sauce on there, you kind of pat it down, and then we're gonna do it all over again. So I kind of staggered these. So I did it vertically, the potatoes first. Now I'm doing these horizontally. Then you put a fresh pepper, your bacon, your Parmigiano Reggiano, your gruyere cheese, and your sauce. And you just keep doing that until there's nothing left. And then you keep pressing that down. That way, when you're done cooking this, it stays all together. It doesn't fall apart while you're taking it out. There you go. Look at that. Put it all together. Smash it down. One more layer. And then you cover it with aluminum foil. And you put it in your oven at 350 degrees for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Or until fork tender. Then you take off the aluminum foil. You let it broil until it's browned on top, just like this. And then you're gonna wanna let it cool for about 15 minutes before you cut into it. If you cut into it too early and it's super hot, as you take it out, it will just fall apart. So what I like to do is I like to cut around all the edges first, and then you get a nice big piece because you're a good person. Kind of cut through it, maybe use a better knife than I'm using. Eat that piece of bacon. Yes, that bacon was delicious. And then you take it on out. And look how it all stays together since I let it cool. Oh, but it's still steamy and delicious. So good. Now for my favorite part. All right, now for my favorite part of the video. I get to eat the food. In this case, it's the potatoes au gratin or potatoes au gratin. However you want to say it, I don't judge. But as you can tell, not hard to make. A lot of simple ingredients. The nice thing about it is you can kind of switch out the ingredients that you kind of prefer. I mean, if there's different cheeses that you like, or you don't like bacon or whatever. Don't like bacon, really? There's a lot of things you can kind of tweak to whatever your profile is. If you follow this recipe exactly how I have it, you will have an amazing potatoes au gratin. So, all right, I want to eat it. So good. As you can see, it's got these layers. It's almost like a little lasagna. It's great. Okay, let's just eat it. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I want to eat it. It's going to be delicious. Here we go. Cheers. Wow. That is so good. We make a lot of things here at Party Food Hero. That's one of the best side dishes I've probably ever made. Well, you know it's good. I'm doing the double. Okay. So, you get the, God, that's so good. So the first thing that you get when you bite it is that creaminess. You get the creaminess. The potatoes are cooked perfectly. So They're kind of al dente. Just, they're not too soft, not too hard. Perfectly cooked. So you get that creaminess, you get the cheese, you get the bacon, you get the saltiness, a little bit of pepper. You get at the very end, you get a little bit of the cayenne, a little bit of the spice. Not a lot. My wife didn't even know I put cayenne pepper in this. And she's not a big spicy person. So it's definitely not spicy at all. But you get a little of that little, you wouldn't know what it was unless somebody told you. Like, what is that little at the end? That's the cayenne pepper. And it's great. It's really good. It is a very rich dish, super rich. That Gruyere cheese is fantastic in this. Man, that's really good. That's one of the ones that I get excited to make for people when they come over, because I love to see people's reactions when you make something that you know is really good, and then they eat it, and then they know it's really good. It's great. You got to make this. That was great. That was really good. Okay, there you go. Well, I don't know what else to say. It's just really good. It's a great dish to make. It's not hard. It takes a little bit of time, but the part that takes the longest is just baking it. So there's so much stuff you can do while it's baking. But there you go. Delicious, amazing. This is a side dish that you should put on your bucket list of side dishes and then start making it often. Not too often. It's super rich. You'd probably die if you ate too much of this. There you go. If you learned something new, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe with the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram, Party Food Hero. Go to partyfoodhero.com for all of the recipes, all the ingredients, everything. It's all outlined there easily. It's searchable. It's super easy. We got a ton of videos. There's no reason you should be going and just picking up anytizers from Walmart or wherever you pick up your little anytizers from and take them to a party. Shame on you. And you know, if you have to, I get it. At least you're bringing something, whatever. But still, you should be making things. Make stuff. Be the party food hero. But yeah, there you go. I appreciate you watching. And don't forget, be the party food hero. This is going to disappear.
Be the party food hero.